Hi, this is Jeff Susich from smallbizsalesforce.com. We're going to do a quick class today in using a very powerful report custom formula called PARENTGROUPVAL. If you've never used this before, this will show you how to use it and what you can do with it. So let's make a scenario here. Let's say that I'm looking at 2012, all the business that we won in 2012, and I create a report that shows me all of the revenue that was won in 2012 grouped by sales rep. If I want to answer the question, how much did each salesperson contribute percentage-wise to the total amount of revenue won? Well, that's a little bit different situation there. A lot of times people that don't use PARENTGROUPVAL, you're going to end up exporting this to an Excel spreadsheet and doing some manual stuff. You don't have to do that. So let's take a look at this. I go into my reports here, and I've created a report called Sales Rep Contribution 2012. Right now, this is basically just a tabular report. Shows the opportunity name, closed one, shows the basic information. Now, you'll notice a couple things here. One is this is a tabular format right now. I don't even get the option for a custom formula field here. If I change this to a summary formula, there it is. I get the add formula field. Now, I said we're going to do this by salesperson. I'm going to go ahead and group by that field. So right now I have a report that has grouped by the salesperson, and it's also showing me a nice sum on the amount per salesperson with this basic function that's here. So it becomes a question of how do I automatically calculate, in the case of Dorothy Parker here, what percentage 120,000 represents from the entire sales figure, which was 5.579 million. Good question. Let's see how we do that. First thing we're going to do is click on Add a Formula. I double click that, and you come up with this screen if you haven't seen this before. First of all, we give it a unique name like we do in a lot of other places. We'll call this just percent calculation. All right, now this is going to be a percent figure, as we mentioned. I'm going to change the format to percent. I'm going to keep 2 decimal places. The next thing I have to decide is where it's going to be displayed. I want to display this at the same grouping level that I'm grouping my sales reps, which is opportunity owner. So I select that. That's how I'm going to group this thing. Now I drop down to the actual formula creation. In the summary fields, I'm going to be looking at the amount sum. That's the same figure that we're essentially calculating on the report. We're summing up each of the totals of each of the sales reps. I take that, and here's where I want to find out and use the PARENTGROUPVAL function. I say divided by, and I'm going to go over here to the various functions here, and you're going to see a lot in here. There's a lot more in here. We're only going to cover one of these today, but there's a lot of very powerful capabilities in here. I'm going to put PARENTGROUPVAL in here, and I'm going to say it gives me the syntax, PARENTGROUPVAL, summary field, grouping level, and I'm going to say insert. And that's what it did. It basically inserted this PARENTGROUPVAL, and it's asking for a summary field. Well, we've already said that we're summing on. We know that we're summing on amount sum. So I'm going to go ahead and select that. I'm going to say amount sum, which is the individual reps total, divided by the entire group's amount sum, is basically what I'm saying. And I'm going to be putting this at the grand summary level. I click OK, and now what we're going to see is if we look at the report, I've got a new column here. In this case, I've got 2.15%. If I run this report, and I go ahead and hide my details, because I just want to see the results here, I'm going to see 6.945 million for Dorothy Parker. That represents 16.11%, and so on for each of the reps. So PARENTGROUPVAL is a very simple way for you to create some very interesting reporting functions. Thanks.